and their corners and safeties are unbelievably fast.
Well, one of the defensive stars with great speed and could be such an impact in this game is back deep to receive for the Seminoles. I'm talking about Terrell Buckley. This kick going away from Buckley over to Tiger McMillan, running it back and stopped inside of the 20. Kevin Smith on the A&M tackle, and here's Casey Weldon, the senior from Tallahassee. Runner-up to Desmond Howard for the Heisman. In the backfield, Edgar Bennett, a senior, and Sean Jackson will start since Amp Lead is no longer a member of the team. The Florida State receiver, Kez McCorvey, and Matt Fryer. The tight end is Lonnie Johnson. Florida State to start the Cotton Bowl from the 18-yard line. Little play action to Jackson right away, looking long and almost caught by Lonnie Johnson, but broken up by Chris Cromes. Now the offensive line for Florida State. Terry, take me through it.
Well, you're going to look at Roberts. This is Baker, the center. Reggie Dixon, left guard. Mike Morris be your right guard. And then Robert Stevenson, 52, left tackle. Kevin Mancini, right tackle, back after having arthroscopic knee surgery. First game back, hurt that knee in the LSU game. Big, strong, drive blocking type team. Will not pull a lot of people.
Shannon Baker has come into the bottom of your screen as a receiver in from McCorvey on 2nd and 10. And they set up a reverse for Baker. He comes in right away, little trickery. Baker gets to the corner, gets the first down at the 33-yard line. Finally stopped by Derek Frazier. He broke away from Otis Neely. And let's meet the Aggies on defense. Senior Mark Wheeler at the nose. Sam Adams, the defensive newcomer of the year in the Southwest Conference, along with Teichelman. Here are the linebackers, top tackler Atkinson and All-America Coriat. Buckley was all Southwest Conference, and Otis Neely mans the other side. In the secondary, Kevin Smith, he's an All-America, along with Derek Frazier, in on the last tackle. Cromes and Bates are the safeties for the Aggies. 1st and 10 for the Seminoles from their 33. First carry by a running back, and it's Sean Jackson for maybe 3. Coriat plugged the middle for the Aggies.
You know, what you're looking at, I want to go right back to the reverse, Jim, by Baker. That is only the 6th reverse all season. And when Bobby Bowden was asked, why not more gadgets, why not more reverses by your receivers, he simply stated that our receivers are not good reverse runners. Well, Baker coming out surprised A&M early.
2nd down and 7. On a rollout, Weldon will fire it, almost intercepted by Kevin Smith. Ooh, and it would have been a quick 6 for the Aggies. That was intended for Matt Fryer.
One of the problems is that Weldon, notice, will get out to the right side. Now, this is good thinking because of the aggressive nature of the linebackers. Notice the linebacker missing. Now, Weldon should have had the ball gone now, but he waits too long, allowing Smith time to adjust. Doggone near intercepted the football. Once again, though, understand Weldon is throwing into the wind.
Now, Smith tied for all-time interceptions in the Southwest Conference, 20 on the career, almost added another one. 3rd down and 7. Slot formation right. Weldon setting up a screen to that side to Jackson, and Frazier stops him in the open field.
Well, now you know, or you get an idea of what I talked about earlier, Jim, about the speed. The speed of Frazier at cornerback. One of the problems was the center that time, Baker, slipped. His run block assignment that time was to come over and get support. The support guy for A&M was Frazier.
Steve Allen will snap it to Scott Player. A little high, he fields it. This was a real low punt coming to Kevin Smith, who ran 2 back this year for touchdowns from the 20. Trying to get out of the traffic, will make it to the 25, or we'll see the Aggies on offense for the first time. 48-yard punt, 4-yard return. Noles and Aggies early in Dallas. Texas A&M will take over from its 24-yard line with quarterback Bucky Richardson, fifth-year senior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. When you look at the two deeps on the roster for the Aggies, he is the only player from outside the state of Texas. Running backs Carter and Greg Hill, the sensational freshman. Harrison and Mitchell, two young receivers, a freshman and a sophomore. Shorp is the tight end for A&M. This is the highest scoring team in Aggie history. They'll snap it for the first time from the 24. Marvin Jones is not starting for Florida State. At linebacker, Ken Alexander replaces him here in the opening minutes. Running the option, and Richardson for a quick 5, and tackled by the replacement, Ken Alexander. Here's the Aggie offensive line. Dowson starts it at center, continuing a long family tradition with A&M. Harrison and Ellisor are the guards. Wesley and Alex the tackles. How do you like the A&M line, Terry?
I like big line, exactly just like Florida State. Big, fast. Once again, they will pull their off guard, their left guard.
2nd and 5. And Greg Hill cuts to the outside and runs out of bounds near the first down marker. Dexter Wesley was blocking on that left side for him. Give him 6. Looks like it's going to be an A&M first down.
You know, it's an old theory about the I formation. What it allows a back to do is simply just pick and read the hole. The line blocking, Jim, is really not that fancy. You just get on the guy in front of you, and then hopefully if he moves one way, the back sees it and cuts the opposite.
1st and 10, A&M from the 35. Hill to the right side, and Hill falls for 4. Looked like he could be stopped for no gain, but he's able to eke out about 3 yards, maybe 4. Going against James Chaney on the nose for Florida State. Ostaszewski and Simpson on the line as well. Alexander in for Jones, who missed a curfew this week. Jones is suited up. Carruthers is the other linebacker on the inside. Freeman and Dinkins on the outside. All-America Terrell Buckley on the corner with McCorvey. Davis and Fowler are the safeties. Let's call it 2nd and 7 for A&M. Option right. Richardson peeps, leaps, and stops about 2 yards shy of the first. Kirk Carruthers hit him high.
Bucky Richardson on the field.
One of the things you have to like about Bucky Richardson is the fierce competitor that he is. And Jim, I want to point out, one of the things you always look for in the guy at the quarterback position, the leader on your football team, is can this guy win? And if you look at the bowl experience of Bucky Richardson, this is his 3rd bowl. His freshman year, he was the MVP in this Cotton Bowl against Notre Dame and MVP last year in the Holiday Bowl. So he is playing big time in the big games.
3rd and a very long yard to go, and Florida State may have jumped. Flags are down, a mishandled snap. Kirk Carruthers has the football.
Flag down before the ball is snapped.
That's really smart. If this is against Florida State, that's a good job that time by Dawson, the center, because he just went ahead and snapped the ball when the nose tackle got across the line of scrimmage.
Right you are, as Jack Baker indicates.
Offsides on the defense, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Long count. You love it in big games. People normally can't stand to sit still. They got to get off. Evidently, Bucky Richardson changed his inflection in his voice and got Chaney to jump.
You know, talking to R.C. Slocum, he expressed just how much Richardson has meant to the program for the last 5 years, since he did have a redshirt year, but also how he gets so emotionally up for these games, so charged, Terry, that sometimes you have to taper him off.
He does. He gets so carried away with him that R.C. said he had to pull him down and get him and calm him down. But if you look at this, one thing about a guy that's super hyper like Bucky Richardson, he primarily is a runner, and that will not affect a runner nearly as much as it would a passer.
First down for the Aggies near midfield. Throwing for the first time, and wide open, Hill out of the backfield. And he has another A&M first down.
The counter option, Richardson opening to his right, gets the flow of the defense away, then comes back wide open out in the flat. This is an excellent job. Notice Richardson going to the left, holds everyone inside. Notice the linebackers now out in the flat is Hill. And if you're going to throw against Florida State, primarily a man-to-man team, you want to throw it on these corners because man-to-man corners normally are not good tacklers. They're the kind of guys, Jim, that just like to grab and hang on.
Richardson has a strained tendon in his throwing arm, a sore arm that has limited his throwing in practice this week by about a third. But he comes back firing again, incomplete this time, intended for Tony Harrison.
Yeah. Excuse me, Jim. See, if Bucky was calling his own plays and could make the adjustments anytime you have play action with bump and run on the outside and you're doing play action, you know, you might as well forget it. The best thing the receiver could have done is just go down the field.
Richardson strained the arm in the game against Arkansas. Went the last 3 games, not 100% throwing-wise. 1 of 2 in this game on the opening drive. 2nd and 10 pitch. Hill has the corner. Hill to the 30. Hill's going to break it to the 10, 5, and is he in? Oh, they stop him inches shy. Much to the chagrin of the Aggie partisan crowd.
Oh, man, what a great job. Not only was the execution by Richardson and Hill excellent, the key to this was the blocking downfield. Check this out, Jim. You'll love this. Richards comes out. There's your pitch. But notice right here, the corner comes up, and Mitchell comes out and just flattens and opens up the lane for Hill. Look at this. Down the line, there's your option. There's your pitch, and look at the block. Outstanding.
They mark him outside of the 1. Second glance, I thought.
Good eyes, huh?
I thought Hill may have made it. I thought he made it. But it'll be 1st and goal to go in 3 tight ends. 2 tight ends in for the Aggies. Jason Matthews and Steve Segraves. Here, let's determine that. Of course,
I think college rules are just like pro rules, aren't they? If you get the ball across the line, isn't that a touchdown? Let's see if he breaks. Oh, I see what happened. He
fumbled the ball.
He fumbled it through the end zone. That should be Florida State's ball, shouldn't it? That should be Florida State's ball if it went across the goal line and through the end zone and out. I mean, me of the knowledgeable rules of college football, I would think that should be Florida State's ball.
You know, the officials are huddling, Terry.
Now, look at this. Now, there's the fumble. The ball stays in bounds, goes through the end zone and out. That's Florida State's ball on the 20.
They are huddling the officials.
Well, they don't have it.
No instant replay booth up here in this one.
Well, that's a shame.
Not at the college level. They definitely did fumble before the goal line, and Errol McCorvey was the man who stripped it free from him.
Well, you know, when you have people in position to make decisions, they make them and you live with them. That's one thing I like about it. It's a human thing. Watch this.
The ball belongs to the defensive team at the spot of the fumble.
At the spot of the fumble, which was at the 1-yard line, it's Florida State football.
Okay, so that's the rule. From the fumble where it went in and was in possession of the Aggies, where it crossed, where the fumble occurred, then turns over to the defensive side. So it's Florida State's ball.
And A&M's defense has come onto the field knowing that the crowd is down after what they thought was going to be an apparent touchdown or touchdown opportunity from the 1. But the wrecking crew raising the arms and saying, we'll stop them here.
Now, one of the things we might look for here, A&M has put in a safety blitz. They have not had a safety blitz all year, Jim, and they want to do it on 1st down when Florida State least expect it. So look for them to be very aggressive either with their safeties or blitz their linebackers.
So Florida State rolling out. And Weldon, it's a safety. A safety by Quentin Coriat.
you to watch this. Now, one of the things you have, and if you roll out, Jim, is the option of a short man or to run it or to throw it deep. But look what happens. The short man that time has to block. Now the linebackers pursue, and notice also out in the flat, there was no way that Weldon could throw the ball to the receiver. Excellent coverage by the Aggies.
Southwest Conference Defensive Player of the Year, Quentin Coriot. What a bizarre situation. Fumbling at the 1, and since the ball was fumbled through the end zone, they gave Florida State the football back at the point of the fumble. And just one play later, the Aggies stuff him for a safety.
And you know what else amazing is you notice that Weldon is rolling out a lot. And you know what that's designed to do is to give him time so he can avoid the sacks.
A&M had a school record 56 sacks this year. I'm sure Florida State took notice of that in preparation for this game. Now they will have the free kick from the 20-yard line. Let's get a report from Jim Gray.
All right, Jim, I was just talking to the official, and he said that his original call was that the ball was fumbled. The discussion that was going on the field was whether or not the ball went through the end zone or whether or not it had, in fact, gone out on the 1.5-yard line. So while the discussion went on, they finally determined, without looking at any replay, that's not permissible here in college rules, they determined that it went out on the half-yard line. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Jim, good report. Thank you. Scott Player will punt for Florida State, the free kick. Remember Kevin Smith back here returning. He's a dangerous one. And he's breaking it to the 50 and down at the Florida State 47. 30 yards on the run back. And Greg Hill actually gave him a lead block.
Pulled up by William Paul. Ball at the Seminoles 47-yard line. First down 10 for the Aggies. And we have
Aggies by a deuce in the first.
Florida State has been in the headlines all year. Number 1 in the nation. Number 1 again. Number 1 again. Poor things lost by 1 to Miami, you know. And you hadn't heard that much about Texas A&M. Texas A&M's kind of sectionalized. You know, when you get thinking their whole conference is in one state nearly, you know. And so I would think they're hungry. I don't think they like that one bit. And they got a chance to show the nation by beating Florida State. And so, that scares me about them as much as anything, the hunger factor.
Well, there he is, Bobby Bowden. 5th straight 10-win season. But the Aggies now will start their second possession from the 47 of Florida State. Seminoles threatening blitz. They try to cross him up with a screen, and they overthrow Greg Hill. Now let's go back to the Hill fumble, Terry, on the Aggies' last possession.
Well, this is my first college game, first game I've done in 2 years, but my initial thought was when the ball is fumbled, now watch this, it's in play, it bounces through the end zone, now out. That's a touchback. That's ball, I think, should go back to the 20, and that's what I said. Now the ref said goes back to the 1-yard line, therefore they get the safety. I think the rule is, I think I'm right. I think the ball should have been placed on the 20-yard line.
Second down and 10. Running it with the fullback, Doug Carter, for about 2. And Jim Gray setting up word again from the sidelines that the officials have said that the key was he fumbled outside of the end zone and the ball carried on into the end zone.
Well, that goes back to judgment, and that's fine. They made their call. They stand by it, and that's good. You got to live with it.
The 3rd and 8 situation for the Aggies.
This is the ideal situation. Florida State wants to keep the Aggie offense. 3rd and 8. They don't fear their passing nearly as much as they fear their running. Blitz.
Straight drop back for Richardson, and across the middle. Well, no one there. Flags are down. Actually, Greg Hill was in the area, and Kirk Carruthers was coming in on Richardson.
That's blocking downfield, I believe, Jim.
You got it.
The preliminary signal.
Tyler Harrison may have left a little bit early from the left guard position.
You know, in college football, you can block downfield as long as the ball is thrown behind the line of scrimmage.
On the offense, penalty is refused, fourth down.
Yeah, you know, if you throw the ball behind the line of scrimmage and catch it, you can have guys 10 yards, 15 yards down the field making blocks. That's okay. But if you go past the line of scrimmage, then the foul.
David Davis is the punter for the Aggies, a junior from Loop, Texas, L-O-O-P. Small West Texas town where he was the valedictorian of his high school graduating class of 8. And he'll punt to Terrell Buckley.
I could have finished high in that class, huh?
Top 10. And Buckley just waves it off. Aggies could stop it. They're standing on the goal line, however. That's a touchback, and bring Florida State out with the football at the 20-yard line.
These guys are so hungry to get to the football. They've just held back a little bit. They had it down on the 1.
Well, 40 years ago today, Paul Bear Bryant led Kentucky into its only Cotton Bowl appearance. Wildcat quarterback Babe Parilli threw a pair of touchdown passes to Emory Clark, and Clark added an interception off a TCU pass, leading Kentucky to a 20-7 win over the Horned Frogs back in the 1952 Cotton Bowl Classic. It right in the area of the A&M band. 1st and 10 from their 20. Edgar Bennett, the fullback, stopped from behind by Mark Wheeler after a 2-yard carry.
He was pulled out by number 97.
Had a nice visit with Edgar Bennett this week. Terry, he drew some comparisons to his style of running.
You know, I really think he tried to pull one over us, talking about he was like Thurman Thomas. And you know, I didn't really believe him. I don't think he really believed himself, and he broke down laughing.
2nd down and 9. Play action. Bowden steps away from the heat, fires, and he's picked off by Patrick Bates.
Well, when we talked to defensive coordinator Bob Davie and we asked him about Bates, he said one thing he has, good vision and a quick break on the ball. Well, you talk about a quick break. Look at this. There's your break. Weldon thought he had his man open, but Bates coming across from free safety beats him to the punch, intercepts.
Bates, a UCLA transfer from the 29. Aggies going for the big strike right away. Oh, and the touchdown is dropped. Tony Harrison. He had Leon Fowler beat.
Leon Fowler, free safety. You know, so many people underestimate the passing ability of Bucky Richardson. When we talk to him, he intends on playing pro football and playing this position quarterback. Nice throw. Look at that. Nice spiral. Good delivery. Hey, what's wrong with that? Just a bad catch. Perfect throw.
Didn't look like a sore arm on that one.
Not at all.
Second down and 10. And some movement on the left side of the Aggie line.
See what happened, Jim? Look what Florida State's doing now, lining 8 on the line of scrimmage, all out blitz that time.
False start on the offense.
Florida State saw really only 2 option teams on the season, Syracuse and Virginia Tech, and at times they struggled in those 2 games, Terry.
Well, when we were getting ready for this game, talking to the Aggie coaching staff, that's the one thing they pointed out to us, that they had not seen an option run quite like their option because of their speed in their backs and the ability of their quarterback, Bucky Richardson, to execute it.
Marvin Jones has come in for the first time. All-America inside linebacker, 55 for Florida State. Second down and 15 for A&M.
Audible.
Richardson getting away. Long pass caught and incomplete, out of bounds. grab, but out of bounds.
Wouldn't have mattered, Jim, because Harrison actually was knocked out way up on the 20-yard line. Great job, but look, he's coming back in on about the 15, and then he drops it again. No, he catches the ball. Now he's out of bounds.
Terrell Buckley on the coverage.
Look at the top of your screen, folks. See, he's out of bounds on about the 20, the 18, comes back in, makes the catch, once again, out of bounds. Oh, I didn't see the backslide there.
Looked like he was preparing for the luge next month in Albertville, France. Third down and 15.
Another blitz, Jim.
Showing blitz. They run it with Carter, the fullback, down to the 29. And the Aggies will be attempting a field goal. Doug Carter, the younger brother of San Francisco 49er Michael Carter. Now Terry Venetoulias will try to add points for the Aggies. This would be a career-long field goal for Venetoulias. 44 is his career-long. Sophomore from Deer Park, Texas. Call this one 47 yards. Ryan Payne on the hold, and they wave it off. The kick would have been, well, they got flags down. They got flags down for a delay penalty, I believe.
When they blew the whistles, they gave up on giving us an indication whether it was good or not.
Dead ball, delay a game on the offense. Fourth down.
So that kick would have been good. And now they'll drop back into punt formation.
With the walk-off will be fourth down 15.
And bypass what would be a 51, 52-yard attempt.
Resuming play and punt formation, number 45, David Davis.
Darrell Reed to snap it to David Davis. And again, just across the goal line, a touchback and a missed opportunity for the Aggies for the second straight trip. 3 actually in all. They've lived in the Florida State end of the field here in the opening quarter.
And they have the win, and you know, obviously you want to take advantage of the win at your back, and so far haven't been able to do that.
Randy Simmons is being, well, let's see here. That's actually Antonio Shorter being helped off the field, part of the punt coverage team for the Aggies. Here come the Seminoles from the 20. Edgar Bennett, he meets the wrecking crew. 2-yard loss after Jason Atkinson came up to make the play.
Strength of the A&M team lies inside. I want you to look in. Notice guards pulling the back, gets in behind the guard. This is a play. You're not going to believe what I'm fixing to tell you. Atkins, weak side linebacker, leading tackler on this team. But that underhand ball handling actually was a play that I gave Bobby Bowden about 8 years ago. You believe that, don't you?
I do.
Good.
Because he called you up and asked you a few things. More on that in a moment. Second down and 12. And Sean Jackson into Quentin Coriat, back near the original line of scrimmage. Actually, Terry, Coach Bowden wrote several starting quarterbacks in the National Football League in the early 80s. He wanted to ask you guys about the short passing game. At that time, he said you were really the only guy who called him back.
Well, I called him back. He wanted, if Chuck Noll is listening, he'll like this. He wanted 62 basic. That's what he wanted, and I gave it to him over the phone, and then we got into a long discussion about offensive football.
3rd and 10. That will not be enough for the first. The Aggies tried to wave it off, but Kez McCorvey with a sliding catch. It'll be 4th and 3.
Oh, man, I tell you, I really think Florida State will change their offensive thinking in their passing game, because the sprint out, the rollout with just one receiver to that side, because A&M is bringing people up. They can't get more people involved in their passing. Therefore, you're leaving no options for Weldon. They have to get back into the pocket. I don't think they have a lot of confidence that they can protect Weldon.
Smith waits. Player with a low drill back to the 32. Smith stutter steps for about a 3-4 yard return after a 40-yard punt. Reggie Freeman downfield for Florida State. And Terry, we'll put you back to work this weekend with NFC playoff action on CBS Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time. The NFL Today will lead us off with the Falcons and the Redskins, and then on Sunday late, the Cowboys and the Lions.
All you hear about, Jim, is redemption. The Falcons took a horrible beating at RFK, and the Cowboys got hammered in the Silverdome. Both teams thinking they're much better and they can go up and win those games.
Again, Florida State. Carruthers jumping early. Here's the handoff, bouncing off Hill. Hill runs out of bounds near the 46.
27, Greg Hill is the ball carrier. Did have flags down on the play.
Can the Falcons bounce back after that humiliation at Washington?
Yeah, I got to believe they can. I'll tell you, Jerry Glanville.
On the defense. Penalty is refused. Second down.
Yeah, you know, Jerry Glanville has that team playing, and the real key in the playoffs, Jim, is when you're playing at your best. And I think both the Cowboys under Johnson and the Falcons under Glanville are peaking right now. And I guarantee you the Lions and the Redskins know they're in for a tough game Sunday.
Now the Aggies refuse the penalty. 2nd down and 1. Derek Brooks is in for Carruthers on defense for Florida State. Carter fighting for the first, and he's near it.
Doug Carter, the ball carrier.
Doug Carter, a junior from Dallas. And there they signal first down for the Aggies. And let's rejoin Jim Gray on the sidelines. Jim?
All right, Jim, just before this offensive possession, R.C. Slocum gathered his offensive unit together and said, hey, guys, we're missing a lot of opportunities here. Let's be patient. We're dominating the game. This time, let's move down the field and get some points. We may not have those opportunities later in the game. Jim?
Double tight end formation for the Aggies. Hill is the single back. 1st and 10. Ooh, late pitch, and the ball is free. Florida State has it in A&M territory. And a Dallas youngster has the recovery. Clifton Abraham, who went to high school with Greg Hill, the man who was trying to handle the late pitch.
This is one of 3 options. This is the speed option, and the problem that time was the pitch by Richardson a little bit late, I think. Hey, I was no option guy, but it looked like it was late, not to mention that it was high, therefore the fumble. Another opportunity.
2 old Dallas Carter High School teammates fighting for the loose ball, Hill and Abraham secures it for the Seminoles. With 4:29 to go in the first, Aggies lead it 2-0. Well, the man is open. Fryer at the 40. And a late hit.
Yeah, if you're gonna hit Fryer late, come on, just hit him on the A&M side, you know, where you got some help. Don't be hitting him over there. There's the hit. Fryer out of bounds. Now he's out of bounds, and now all of a sudden you see the big blow coming in from Atkinson. Plays are taking so long to develop offensively. Notice how long Weldon held the ball before he finally did throw it, and that was just a simple little 4-yard out.
Personal foul on the defense. 15 yards. First down.
And the big step off will put Florida State inside of the 30. You've been talking this week, Terry, about how Casey Weldon has that Joe Montana look inside of the helmet. I've heard a lot of people talk about this year in college football.
He looks just like him. He handles himself, his ball handling, his delivery. He looks just like him.
First down from the 27. Short drop, quick fling over the hands of McCorvey.
Weldon's pass intended for number 88, Kez McCorvey.
We're looking at Casey Weldon, political science. It's better than my PE degree, I guess. Of course, that's petroleum engineering. A lot of people probably didn't know that. He's a kid that actually said coming here, being ranked 5th, a lot of pressure off the Florida State team, having lost their #1 ranking to Miami, then losing to Florida the last game of the season, lost 2 in a row, and he said, my chance to showcase my talents to the scouts and really play a game for fun.
Second down and 10. Again, the heat comes on, and Weldon has to try to get it back to the line of scrimmage. He's flushed out by Pat Henry. But a flag on the field. Face mask against the Seminoles. Yeah, last word on that Montana comparison. Weldon says, hey, I've heard it so much. I don't mind the comparison, however, when people want to talk about size, because there have been some questions about his size. He says, wait a minute, if you want to compare me to Montana. We got the same size.
I stood next to him. He's about 6'1", 6'1 and a quarter. That's a fine size. You know, a lot of people say you have to be 6'5 and 6'6". Not many great quarterbacks in the NFL, 6'5 and 6'6". Most of the great ones, if you go and look at it, are 6'1", believe it or not. And when you stride to throw the football anyway, Jim, you bring your size down to about 5'10", 5'8". So find the alleys and let it rip.
That's what he's going to do here on 2nd and 26. Let it rip. Play action to Jackson. And here he is. Sean Jackson finally holding on to it and getting good yardage down to the 27. Reggie Dixon was out front helping block on that side.
Sean Jackson, excellent receiver. You know, one of the things about Florida State, their running backs, Jim, is the fact that they're all outstanding receivers. Jackson getting his chance to start in for Ampli, who's ruled academically ineligible for this game, doing a nice job on the screen, set his blocks up, and got as much as he could.
Coaches believe that Ampli will be back. He's going to go to junior college, get the grades back, and will re-enroll for the fall, his senior year of 92 at Florida State. 3rd down and 10. Here comes the rush. Weldon gets it away. It's Johnson inside of the 10.
One of the chances you take when you go against a team that understands blitzes is when these guys come, when they all come blitzing, you're man-to-man, you let them get by. When they get by, just take the tight end, drag him out. This guy's here, he's there, he's gone, and it's wide open. There's your blitz. Every linebacker on the team coming. Look at Johnson taking his time. 85 just waits, gets the ball. Excellent call.
Well, you asked Weldon, what have you improved on this year? He said, reading defenses and patience. He showed it on that play. 1st and goal from the 7. Sean Jackson off left tackle, banging around to the 5.
Sean Jackson, the ball carrier, he crosses the 5-yard line.
You know, this is a chance. A lot of people that follow Florida State, and I for one, since they're on national television every week, it seems like, one of the things that really struck me getting ready for this was their tight ends that had 8 touchdown receptions between both Johnson and Hart. But after the 5th game, nary a tight end that caught a touchdown pass. Maybe here, maybe it's a good time. Always love the play action with crossing routes down this close.
They've got 2 tight ends in the game. Good fake. And now Weldon will easily score. Darting in at the last minute, but really untouched. 4-yard keeper for Weldon.
You know what he's thinking, Slocum? We messed around. We had it going. We had 3 chances to score. We got 1 score. We give these guys a break, and now this game's 1 point away from being tied up.
Talk about, Terry, the art of ball handling, because that was a beautiful fake by Weldon. We'll be showing you the touchdown in a moment. Now the extra point can make it 7-2. And Jerry Thomas's kick is good. 7-2. Florida State. 2 minutes to go in the first. We'll come back with the touchdown replay after this.
I want you to look at Casey Weldon, 7. Notice he opens up to the left. Look at inside. He leaving fools our cameraman. Actually could have given it to Jackson. Look at everybody coming inside. A real gutsy call. Now look outside. Now he'll get on out here in the flat. Look at everybody run off. Nobody there. Gets a lead block. Doesn't really need it. Then into the end zone. One of the real gambles with play action on the goal line, Jim, is if they all out blitz you, you can't see it. And a lot of times you end up being sacked.
Impressive ball fake, though, wasn't it?
Lousy telestrator work, too.
You never did get good grades in penmanship, did you?
I'm good in the studio. It's simple.
Dan Mowry boots it. And out of bounds. Let's get a report from Jim Gray.
All right, Jim, Texas A&M is going to make no adjustments now. They're very happy with what's gone on other than what's on the scoreboard. So they're going to stick with their basic offense. They feel it's no time to panic. Just try and get some points on the board. That's the only thing that's gone wrong so far. Jim?
Well, the Aggies' starting field position in this game has averaged out to the 46-yard line of A&M, so they've had opportunities, as you say. And they'll refuse the penalty and take the football at the 35-yard line. Penalty, they automatically bring it out to the 35, and it's 1st and 10. Ryan Matthews in as a receiver. And a run out by Keith McAfee. McAfee on the carry and Alexander on the hit after a gain of about 3.
Yeah, most of the running that A&M has done is really the successful, and I'm really surprised at it, has been to the outside. You've got rain here in the Dallas area all night long, and the field's wet. And therefore, when you have a wet field, you really neutralize the real quick cutting running backs. But today, I'm surprised at how well McAfee and Greg Hill have been able to cut on this surface.
Second team backfield, running backs of Simmons and McAfee, and keeping it Richardson near the 45. He'll be about a yard shy of the first.
You know, I recruited him, Bucky Richardson, for Louisiana Tech. This guy, I wanted him to come there and be a quarterback, and he was such a nice guy. I couldn't really put a lot of pressure on him. I just backed off and left him alone and encouraged him to make his own mind up. But, boy, they really wanted him there, and they wanted him to play quarterback. But he's had a heck of a career at A&M.
He said he got a bigger thrill out of talking to you than he ever did about getting even interested in going to Louisiana Tech. He didn't do much of a recruiting job on it. Both of his parents went to Louisiana Tech, Bucky's. And now moving across again. Looks like James Chaney butting heads with Dowson.
What a amazing how much Richardson has changed his cadence.
Encroachment on the defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's twice now the Aggies have drawn the Seminoles off to pick up a 1st down, to move the chains. First 4 Aggie possessions. The fumble at the 1, a punt, another punt, and then a fumble.
And that's after great defense. We've seen some outstanding defense by the Aggies, especially in their secondary and their linebackers.
Final 50 seconds of the first quarter. 1st and 10 near midfield.
Blitz. Look at, he's changing the play.
Got plenty of time on the down clock. Still 10 seconds to go on the down clock. Secures the snap. Somehow shakes off the sack and throws it incomplete.
Two ways to beat a blitz. One is by throwing from the pocket with what they call hot routes. Another is just to have a quarterback that runs a 4.5 40 and have him just run into the blitz and then run away from it. The problem with Bucky is he's not getting any help from his his receivers are not seeing what's going on, and they're not helping him. They're not escaping.
Terry, there's a penalty marker on the field near the Florida State bench. Richardson may have been out of bounds when he threw it.
Personal
Let's see.
foul
Nope.
on the defense. Late hit out of bounds.
Aha.
15 yards, first down.
And there you go. You can see he got a free ride all the way to the Florida State bench and over it.
Reggie Freeman. It looks like it's between Reggie Freeman and Kurt Carruthers. Let's see who gets there first.
The two teams have exchanged late hit penalties here in the first quarter. And an A&M first down from the Florida State 36. Into the line with Randy Simmons, and that could finish off play in the first quarter. A little bit of everything in that opening quarter, Terry.
Well, we had interceptions, we had a safety, we had linebacker blitzes, we've seen blitzes, we've seen scrambling, we've had 2 personal fouls. Yeah, I mean, that's the first college game I've been to. If they are all like this is pretty good stuff.
It's good to have you with us. That's the end of the first quarter with the score. Florida State 7, Texas A&M 2. We'll return after this message and a word from your local station.